Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking you through my tapering story. Okay, now if you don't know what tapering is, it's basically the journey that you've gone from a high dose of medication to a low dose of medication, I suppose. So yeah, this is my story. Okay, so when I first got diagnosed with nephrotic syndrome, the nephrologist that I am seeing, he put me on, I think, 45 milligrams of prednisolone. Now, that worked for a while. I think it worked for around maybe half a year, and then I think we were tapering 5 milligrams every 4 weeks until we got down to around 10 milligrams. As soon as we got down to 10 milligrams after about 6 months, we went 10-5, 10-5 every day. So one day I would take 10 milligrams of steroids, and then the next day I would take 5, and then continuing like that for the rest of the week. Now every time I tapered my dose, I would go for a blood test just to check that the amount of protein in my blood, the albumin, was still at a constant level, and that nothing had gone wrong basically. Now I found that when I went to 5-0, that's when it all went wrong basically. So this was probably after now 6 months, like I said. So obviously I was absolutely gutted. We tried again, so I then shot back up to 45 milligrams of steroids, and obviously that's when all the major side effects kicked in. I've done a video on that, so I'll leave that below. But yeah, it was quite upsetting, but yeah, I was on 45 milligrams again. I went down to the same plan, but then at 25 milligrams after about 5 months. We then stopped it there for a while because I think it was a bit too risky to lower the dose as quickly as we did the last time that we tried. So yeah, after that I then went down 5 milligrams, I think every 6 weeks, I think it was, instead of every 4. And then I went down to 5, which was great, and everything was going great. And then I had another relapse. If you don't know what a relapse is, then it's basically when the autoimmune disease just all comes back again and you're basically ill again. So yeah, after that my doctor said, okay, so clearly you are steroid resistant, so my body didn't react to the steroids as he'd hoped. I have minimal change disease, so usually people would react very well to the steroids, but I refuse to have another biopsy because I'm just so scared of needles. But yeah, so we actually introduced another medication which is called cyclosporin. Now cyclosporin, I mean, it's a big tablet, that's literally it. The main side effects is that it makes you super hairy, like super hairy. I feel like I am a young woman with a moustache, which is, you know, is always really attractive, but that's not the main point. So yeah, basically cyclosporin got introduced, and I was on 50 times 2 tablets a day, so I was on 100 milligrams of cyclosporin, as well as the 45 milligrams of steroids. So this was obviously a new chapter for me, and I was thinking, yes, this is gonna work. But it didn't actually work until about 4 weeks after I'd taken the dose, just because I was still quite busy at the time and I was quite stressed. So obviously my stress hormones may have like interacted with the medication chemicals, and it just wasn't working. But then I did find after 4 weeks it was working, and I knew it was working because I was going to the toilet a lot, basically, to put it bluntly, and all the water in my body was just draining out. So yeah, I knew it was working. So then after that, what my nephrologist did was he actually upped the cyclosporin to 75 times 2 per day, so then I was on 125. Sorry, my phone just died, so I'm now on my iPad. Anyway, I then got put on 75 times 2 a day, so I was on 150 milligrams of cyclosporin, as well as the 45 grams of prednisolone at the same time. And the plan from there was to basically taper down the prednisolone and then increase the cyclosporin at the same time, so that eventually I would be able to come off the steroids and just be on the cyclosporin. Okay, so then after about 6 weeks, I was then able to taper my 45 milligram of steroid dose. So that happened every 6 weeks until I got down to around 5 milligrams. Now, I then got to 5 milligrams around, I believe, February, March time, and I'd started cyclosporin around last September. So that had all happened quite quickly, and fingers crossed it is still going well. Now, basically, my nephrologist said that he doesn't usually let people taper below 5 milligrams of steroids. Now, at this time, he'd already upped my cyclosporin to 100 milligram times 2 tablets a day, so I am now on 200 milligrams of cyclosporin, as well as now 2 milligrams of prednisolone. But yeah, basically I fought my case and I said, no, I don't want to be on these steroids any longer than I should be. Like, I feel like I should have come off them ages ago. So yeah, I was quite stubborn with him, basically. And I know my own body, so I was like, no, I'll be fine. Please, 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 can we lower it? So then we went down to 2.5 milligrams, I believe, in the Easter holidays just gone, so around April time. So yeah, since then I went to the hospital on Tuesday for a checkup, and yeah, so since then, around 4 weeks later, I was actually able to lower my dose to 2 milligrams. And then recently on Tuesday, I went to my nephrologist and he told me that I will probably be on 2 milligrams for quite a while. Now obviously I was quite upset about this, because obviously I thought that by now I would be off the steroids and just on the cyclosporin, but I also took positives from it because I know that he only wants what's best for me, and I know that he has a daughter himself, so he was like, oh, I'm treating you like I would treat my daughter, which is fair enough. So yeah, I'm now on 200 milligrams of cyclosporin and 2 milligrams of prednisolone. Okay, so hopefully in around 3 months' time, I don't know what's going to happen, but I will be seeing my nephrologist again, and I will make another video then just to update you all. I'm hoping that I can probably go down to maybe 1 milligram. I know that in some places, like in China, they don't actually have tablets that exist that are smaller than 5 milligrams, so I do feel very grateful that I am below 5 milligrams. I believe that these things take their time, and obviously the slower that I tapered, the better it was for me. I do find as well, if I stay less stressed, more healthy, more consistent with my activity, it does help speed up the process of tapering. But at the same time, I am so grateful that we have these kinds of medications and that they do work for, well, they work for me. I'm just grateful for them, I guess. But yeah, that's basically my tapering story. If you have any questions, then please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I am happy to answer any questions that you have. Don't forget to also take a look at my other videos where I talk about steroid side effects, healthy lifestyle, my kidney biopsy story, my Q&A for nephrotic syndrome if you're interested in that. But yeah, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so that you are always notified whenever I upload a video. But yeah, I will see you next time, guys. Bye!